This week on Chicago Beer Pass, Nick and I are talking about Oktoberfest parties. We had 350 Brewing's Punktoberfest. We had Begyle and Dovetail's Oktoberfestiversary party. And then we have a bunch of beer news to run through at the end of the episode. So let's do this. Let's jump in. Do these last 3 weeks of the week. What'd you make it to?
Yeah, because, you get a cork knocked out, boom, it just flies like fucking 10 feet. We're like, yeah, let's do it. The legend, Mr. Pete Crowley. I love Pete Crowley, man.
How's that beer? It's what you think it is.
It'll be like the stuff you hear. Every time you go to Floyd's, all the music sounds like this. Raw, raw, raw.
Hey, and welcome to Chicago Beer Pass. I'm Brad Chmielewski.
Brad, what's up, man? I'm Nik White.
And we are getting our barley wine on today.
It's so nice, man. I was having a shitty day. It started raining when I got to the studio. And, things are all better now. It's like a magic eraser, this fucking barley wine. It's great.
I know you love your barley wines, and barley wine season is kind of ramping up here.
Yeah, man. That's what I was saying, man. We were at the BCS thing. It's like, there's no way I could take the BCS, like a full BCS on my own, just drink it solo. It's just, those things are 500 calories per bottle if you listen to Tom Quarter that back in the day. But the barley wine is a different situation.
It's only like 480 calories.
You say those 20 calories, you can drink the whole thing. It's great.
But we're drinking, this week we're drinking not Goose Island barley wine or any Bourbon County. We're drinking the 350 Brewing Don't Pick Up Hitchhikers.
Yeah, man. Brad, full of surprises as usual, found himself in fucking Tinley Park this weekend. Hey, so this was their Oktoberfest beer, right?
They had an Oktoberfest.
Okay.
I'll get into the event here in a minute,
Okay.
but they did have an Oktoberfest. This was some sort of bottle release because they were given samples of it, and I was like, "Oh, can I get a bottle?" And like, "Oh, are you on the list?" And I was like, first off, I didn't know this beer existed, and I didn't know there was a list. So I was like, "No." Like, okay, it's $12 to buy a bottle because I'm sure they had plenty of it.
Yeah, they did a good job with this, man. I like the the wax, the orange pumpkin wax with like some little flakes in it, man. It's a 12.5% autumn spiced barley wine. Big creamy molasses, pumpkin spice.
Yeah,
a big beer. It's nice. It's nice though.
Yeah, this has all the things you would imagine from the Atom Smasher. I haven't had that from Two Brothers in a long time.
Yeah.
I believe that one might be aged in the fooders. But this has a lot of those same flavors. It's that smashed pumpkin kind of just autumn flavors you want.
Yeah, it's something you could save for a year, and it would still probably be.
Mine didn't even make a week. I was like, let's do it. Otherwise, it would be one of those beers we're gonna open on our cellar things on the YouTube channel, where it's just like, oh, here's a 2018, 5 years later.
Yeah, but this is right where I want to be right now. This barley wine is pretty good.
Yeah, so 12.5%. It packs a punch. If you did pick up a bottle, hopefully you either picked up two so you can drink one now this season and maybe sit on one for a year and see what it tastes like. But if this makes it to stores, I don't know where their stuff makes it really.
I'm thinking about it. Like, I might have gone there once, maybe 3 years ago. But this is, other than that one time going there, I haven't had their beers. Yeah.
And you might be able to pick this still up at the tap room in Tinley Park. But but then diving into this Punktoberfest, it was called. It's even on the bottle here. It was their Punktoberfest. I think this beer was just released for that.
They are known for the party, right? Like, I know across the street at like the Tinley Park Convention Center, they throw a big annual festival over there,
really?
like every summer.
Oh, cool.
And then this popped up in one of my feeds a lot before it happened, Punktoberfest.
Yeah. So our buddy Justin Maynard, he's over there now.
Yeah, man.
And this is a perfect fit for him.
Yeah.
Coming from his days of Riot Fest and just being a huge music fan and like event planner like this, for 350 to be like, yeah, we're going all in on this kind of image.
Yeah.
It seems right up his alley.
Yeah, that's true. I think before he joined the guild, I think when I met him, he was heavy into the hanging out with the Rat Fest boys and doing something in some capacity over there. And we know he likes to party.
Yeah.
Beer Pass veteran, Justin Merritt. He's been on like maybe 2-3 times.
I think so, yeah. So this was a 2-day event down in Tinley Park, and this happened at the new production brewery.
Okay.
So I threw in the GPS the 350 tap room.
Yeah.
And then I got over there. I was like pulling up. I was like, man, there's supposed to be a party here. There's not a lot going on. So I had to check the Instagram where they were throwing up all the posters and re-put the address. It was around maybe like 2 minutes away.
So you went to like the original tap room.
Yeah.
Okay.
This was really just right around the corner, and it's their new production brewery. This whole event was inside of that. Yeah. It's not up and running yet. Justin said that it's should be soon, and this should help them meet the demand. Like, they're having a hard time keeping up with the demand for their beer. They are self-distributing right now.
Oh.
And just like for bars and things like that, they don't even have really bottles or cans. They will have cans, he said, at the new one. So
that makes sense that you don't really just like see them. Like, I see them in Tinley at those at other breweries around Tinley.
Because I asked him, he's like, "Oh yeah, we're having trouble meeting up with demand." I was like, "Where's your stuff? Like, what demand is there?" Because I don't see. Not to be like,
it's not a diss. It's just like where we go, we don't see it.
I don't see your
beer.
But
it makes sense if their focus is just like, because Tinley's probably like maybe 25, 30 miles south of downtown.
Yeah, and there's 3 breweries in that town.
Yeah.
But it's a good sized population. I'm sure they get some spillover from people that go to concerts and stuff. Maybe get there early.
Yeah.
Do something like that. But so they're having trouble meeting demand, and then they got this new space. It's a good size space. Yeah. I took a few pictures of it, threw it up on our Facebook page. But yeah, it was pretty fun event, and getting a chance to check this out. Like, I don't know how much they're going to use for brewing versus packaging and where everything is, because it was set up for like a party. They may keep it kind of.
They may just party down.
Yeah, it may be like, oh yeah, we got to make sure we always have room to party.
Yeah, yeah.
But I got there early on Saturday, maybe like an hour after it started. I didn't want to stay like super long because I did have to drive back, so I could only have a few beers. When I got there, I grabbed some tickets. I got the Oktoberfest. They were doing boots where you could pay, I think, $10 for the boot, and then it was $5 to refill it versus like $5 for every pint or glass you wanted. So it was a better deal, but I didn't need a boot.
Yeah.
Then they were doing like events all throughout the day, and then there was bands later in the day. The first event was their pumpkin tossing contest.
Oh man!
They were just chucking pumpkins off the loading docks.
Pumpkins can get pretty big in size. Yeah.
All these pumpkins were the same size or same weight. They said some of them were like different sizes, so you could just pick them and chuck them. The winner got 2 tickets to Virtue Cider, like, I don't know, like a private tour sort of thing. Yeah. And then
did you jump in? You're like, I'm next. Where's the sign up sheet for this pumpkin toss?
I should have, but I needed a friend there to like root me on to do this. So I just took some pictures of people throwing pumpkins. Really, I probably should have, because I could have just done it and been like, who's that guy? He like didn't even make it very far. But I took some pictures, threw those up on our socials. And then from there, they started doing bingo. And then that's kind of when I rolled out. I was like, not into this bingo scene. I was hoping maybe see a band, but they were coming up later.
Okay.
And the crowd there, it was starting to fill out. If you've ever been to any sort of punk show or house party thing in the suburbs, it's those kind of people. It's like, they got their Subhuman patches on, their jean jackets, their
Doc Martens maybe.
Yeah, a little bit of that. Yeah. But it was cool. I definitely felt maybe a little older too, but that could have just been the time of the day I was there. It was like the middle afternoon. And there was kids running around. They had face painting happening for the kids. And just a bunch of beers on. Virtue Cider was pouring some stuff.
I'm guessing if you're a brewer out in like Tinley or Orland or nearby Mokina, like they seem to like off the expressway off 80. There's that sign by 350. It says, "Thank you for visiting Beer Country. Come again."
Oh, really?
And when you think
Wow.
about all these places that are out there, man, there's gotta be. I mean, there's a ton of drinkers out there, man.
You got Sound Growler, you got 350, and you got
Hailstorm.
Hailstorm. Yeah.
Yeah. Doc's, the barbecue joint with like the 100 whiskeys. They got like 60 beers on tap.
Oh, man.
There's Crafted, which is also a craft beer bar out there with another like over 50 on
That's
tap.
that husband and wife team.
No, you're thinking of the empty bottle.
Oh.
Or is it the open bottle?
Open bottle.
Probably because empty bottle is a music place.
Yeah.
The open bottle, which is across street from 350.
Okay.
That's the husband and wife place. Yeah. They got a cool scene out there. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And no, so I have never been to the tap room. You've been there.
Yes.
What Justin said, it's tiny.
Yeah, it's probably no bigger than the office here.
So like 1,000, 2,000 square feet kind of thing.
Yeah, and the brewery's just kind of hanging out like behind the bar. Mm-hmm. But as far as like actual like space to sit down and eat, I think they have a kitchen too.
Okay.
But it's not very big.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's in a strip mall.
And it's
sort
in a
of thing.
strip mall. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right at Harlem and like I don't know 175th and Harlem, I'm guessing something like that. 183rd and Harlem, one of those.
Sounds about right.
Something like that. Yeah.
So that was a cool little stop. I'm glad I made it to it and got to kind of see their new spot as it's getting built out. Would love to, sync up with Justin or get him on. And I think the owner is Todd.
Okay.
I forget the last name.
Yeah, because I think 350. Because I know Eric Pfizer used to work out there, and he's at like rock bottom. He actually won for Pro-Am at GABF this year. Oh, but they were saying like 350 is like a reference to like their college days.
Oh, okay.
Like when they came up with the concept, the address of wherever they were staying was 350.
Okay.
So they were just kind of like working title ended up being just like the name.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to kind of see what they do with their beers too. Like never having any of their beers until now.
Yeah.
They're pretty good.
I'm enjoying this barley wine.
And if we can get cans, I'm down.
Right on.
Cool. So from there, then I got in my car and I drove to Oktoberfestiversary.
Okay. Now this is the Begyle Dovetail joint weekend bash, right?
Right. October party / anniversary party, but I wasn't quite clear on whose anniversary on
That
this.
was actually going to be my next question. Like,
Because I thought they had their anniversary party like in Labor Day weekend, but
Oktoberversary. Oktoberfestversary.
Oktoberfestversary.
Oktoberfestiversary.
Okay.
It's a lot.
So is there Oktoberversary? I don't know. Not sure.
But there's beer from Begyle and Dovetail.
Yeah.
And they're neighbors.
Right.
Okay.
And so they block off not the street next to the train, but like sort of their like their streets that kind of jut into Ravenswood, and then sort of like a parking lot area, and then they have beers in this garage facility that Begyle is pouring. Begyle was doing every hour was like a new tapping of something. I don't know. Dovetail wasn't doing that because they don't have that many options, but they had a bunch of beers on that you don't usually see and a few others that were kind of new. I had their white ale, which hadn't seen that one from them before.
Okay.
And then, just a lot of beer from Begyle because they crank out a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I was looking at some of the because you were going to work on the IG stories, and I'm looking at the schedule, and I'm like, dude, there's a lot of stuff on here that if I was at this thing, I probably would have tried to get at, like the Pina Colada Picnic Island, the fucking people say good things about their barley wine, Beguile's barley wine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Vanilla snooze button, that sounded good. It's from Russian Imperial style with vanilla.
My buddy, he almost got that, and then he was like, I got places to go.
Yeah.
I can't be doing
these
that.
things will put you on your ass.
He was rolling over to, he didn't invite me, Smiley's new production brewery.
Really?
Down the way.
Not at Smiley Brothers from Evanston?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
He didn't invite me. I don't know why. He was like, I'm going over there. I'm friends with them. I was like, cool.
Oh, he was throwing
And,
he was throwing it out like, yeah, I'm plugged, so I'm gonna have to leave you now, Brad, and go hang out with with these beer people I have in Evanston.
all right. You know what I do here. But Okay,
That's
see ya.
funny.
Yeah.
So Smiley's got a new space. 350's got a new space. Oh, this Almond Joy barrel aged Imperial pajamas. I probably would have rocked that. So how was the setup, man? Like, is it like festival style, like little tasters like that, or?
No, you get like 12-ounce pour,
Okay.
like glasses,
Okay.
plastic cups. If you have ever been to a Begyle Dovetail party, like I said, I feel like there's one Labor Day, and I went to it.
I feel like I went to a malt roll one that was pretty good, where it was like all 6 of them, and it was like a really big summer party on the other side of the tracks.
Okay. This is laid out just like the last one I went
Okay.
to, like the garage where the beers are. Dovetail has like a little tent area with bags set up. There is a band. There's more beer outside, porta potty. Like, it's laid out. If you've gone to this before, it's like you could blindly and drunkenly stumble your way through and be like, I know where everything is, the food trucks, but not a cart, same spot as always.
I haven't partied with them yet, man. Well, no, I take that back. They did a this is Dovetail I'm talking about. There was a upstairs there was an art alley, like, of a bunch of different artists, and the party was, hey, come have some beer and then go upstairs to this big art festival.
Oh, okay.
So I went to that upstairs. I enjoyed that.
Oh,
but
cool.
I haven't been back for a party.
It was nice. I stuck around just for one beer because I was already at the Punktoberfest, and I had dinner with the lady planned. So
Right on.
I was like, okay. I couldn't have gone to Smiley Brothers anyway if I was invited,
Yeah.
but I wasn't.
I was dinner. What'd you do for dinner? Where'd you go?
We ended up just eating around Wicker Park, like
Okay.
popping into different places. Went to this spot called Angry Tavern, which was Trencherman. Went over to Publican Tavern.
Oh, Anchor, right?
Yeah, Publican
Yeah,
Anchor, not
okay.
Publican Tavern.
Okay.
And just, a few other spots, just getting like bites.
Yeah.
So that was fun.
Very cool. Very cool.
But that was a jam-packed Saturday for me. So
You're busy, man.
I took it easy then the next day.
I'm on my couch and I'm like, is Brad and Tinley Park?
Yeah. I like looked it up, and I was like, all right, it's gonna take me an hour. Am I really doing this? Let's go.
And he brought back the barley wine. I'm like, that dude, Brad Chmielewski, man, the surprises never stop with this guy, man.
But as I'm driving out there, I'm getting in the mood. I'm listening to some old school punk rock, getting out there, or really not old school because it's like 90s punk rock.
You don't want to date yourself, but it is. I mean, come on, it's 90s is a long time ago.
Right, yeah, but it's not. I wasn't rocking like Sex Pistols punk rock kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
that's
True.
good. New, not pop punky, but new punk.
Yes. That's
But-
cool, man.
Yeah, so that was my weekend there.
A little more adventurous than mine.
All right.
I just hit all the old standbys, you know. So I was at Corridor. I picked up a growler of Secret Quadrant. You know, I took my bicycle to Alarmist and got some legit.
Nice.
You know, this is all the stuff we always do anyway. So nothing
Okay.
to report there. I went to Half Acre and picked on Balmoral. Picked up their black IPA, their wet hot black IPA was out, and that's what drew me.
Oh, cool.
Sticky Fat.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sticky Fat. And I was wondering out loud, like, you know, because we did the show there, and they were saying Daisy Cutter was the third beer they ever made. And I'm thinking, like, since all the rest of the original lineup with Gossamer and, you know, they originally had like 4 flagships, and now
there was a Brown, Gossamer.
and Daisy and something else. But of those, Daisy is the only one that remains. So I'm thinking, outside of Big Hugs and Daisy Cutter, like, I mean, Sticky Fat, their black wet hop IPA, has to be like one of their longest running beers.
Maybe. Yeah.
And I love the label, man. There's this bear coming out of hibernation. You know, first thing he sees is his hop tree, so he's got this hop oils just dripping down his face. It's a great label. I love that beer. So I got that, and I got the Original Reaper, which is a mixed 4-pack tall boys of milk stouts.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So it's got rainbows on each can. Each rainbow is a different color, and it represents a different variant. The rainbows have skulls at the end of each rainbow.
Okay.
It's kind of cool. It's just the whole non-committal 4-pack thing was cool to me.
Yeah, because
They
each
were-
one's, you don't, if you hated the, I don't know, mango one. Was
Yeah.
there, I don't know if there's a mango one.
No,
but-
there was one with coffee.
Okay.
Then there was another one with cinnamon and vanilla, and there's another one with toasted almonds,
And
then there was
blueberry.
one with blueberry.
Okay.
I tell you something, man. This blueberry one was dry hopped with some kind of like experimental hops, and so it ends up becoming this like a black milkshake IPA with blueberry, right? And that was my favorite one, right?
Okay.
The other ones, I don't know. The other ones were fine, but they weren't as good as this blueberry one. This blueberry one, I was like, man, this shit's out of sight right here, man.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, Original Reaper. So they were doing a lot of stuff that's just pub only.
Right. 'cause
Balmoral, yeah.
That at Balmoral, you can't even buy this at.
No, but I was gonna say both locations.
Oh, you can get it at both. Okay.
But-
Yeah, because
but-
these are just cans that are, I don't know, just printed like, their printer labels.
Yeah.
All right, stuck on the blank cans.
Yeah.
Kind of classic new. It's like the new bottle release, right?
Basically.
Rather than
right?
like a bottle like this that you can print this label and stick it on. It's like, well, we got blank cans.
So let's just wrap a traditional bomber label on the can.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. It works, man. It works. But that's all I did. So nothing really new to report there. Outside of the Original Reapers, those were cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice, cool. All right. Well, leading into this weekend, what do we got going on? What's happening?
Oh man! So on Saturday we've got the Rare and Wild Beer Fest at Field Museum. That's a 7:00 start. This is an eat, drink, and play event. So this is they're the guys. I want to say they're the guys behind like either San Francisco Beer Week or LA Beer Week. They're a West Coast based beer production company.
Okay.
And they do this party and they do the one at Union Station. I think that's just called the Chicago Beer Fest.
Okay.
Yeah. So they're just calling this barrel aged, funky, and sour beers, Rare and Wild Beer Fest. 7 p.m. on Saturday the 13th.
I do not like this word rare when you
You
refer
know-
to beer now because look at this. We're drinking this bomber
Yeah.
that you could potentially only get at this Punktoberfest. Is that going to be there?
And it's an annoying marketing term that, these PR companies that have been hired by bars use a lot. Like, come check out this rare beer. It's annoying as fuck.
Every beer is pretty rare.
I mean, at this point with 5,000 breweries, yeah, and this, the seasonal schedules, like, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's rare. You know, I don't know. It's right up there as far as annoying terms goes. It's right up there with calling like something premium craft beer, right? It pisses me off. I'm like, it's associated with marketing a little too much at this point. Yeah.
But drinking at the Field Museum is a pretty awesome time. I've only been to 2 events there, and it's very cool.
It's yeah, that's a stellar location. I like that place a lot. I saw the Field Museum, they put on like they had an exhibit for Sioux, but then Toppling Goliath, they had they did something there because at the time that was the only place that you could get the pseudo Sioux beer.
Right.
Off Color's done some beer events there.
Because I had Tooth and Claw when that was originally released.
Yeah.
Or was it just Tooth then? It might have been Tooth and Claw, yeah.
Yeah, it's Tooth and Claw. Yeah. So a lot of cool beer stuff going on at Field Museum.
Nice.
So that's this weekend.
Cross town a little bit, or not even cross town, just like right down the street, is Far and Away.
Yeah, so this is a big deal, man. This is Half Acre's inaugural fest where they're inviting breweries that don't distribute to Chicago, right? They're inviting all the people they're cool with to come hang. So this is at the Harris Theater at Millennium Park. It's right at Randolph in Michigan. Apparently, it's a 1,500 seat theater.
Yeah.
And they've got like ballet dancers, and they have a whole schedule of like resident acts that perform there. So they're picking this place to party. This is 2 sessions. We're going to be at this.
Right.
This is one session's at noon. The other session is at 5. Yeah. There's like 30 breweries, man. I wrote down all the ones I hadn't heard of. So
Okay.
you should tell me if you've heard of them, because I'm feeling like, because we get like we're at 350. We get Chicago is our region, right?
But they're going out there. They're far and away,
Yeah.
right? That's the whole idea.
Yeah, so Alvarado, and just stop me if you heard them. I'm just going to blast
Okay.
through the ones that I haven't heard of. Alvarado Street, American Solera, Aslan, Beavertown, Bellwoods, Bunker, De La Salle, Fontaflora, Forest and Maine, Green Cheek, Hacienda, Industrial Arts, Kane, Lawrence, the Referend Beer Blendery. You're not stopping me, Brad.
Bunker might have been the only one I like.
The Vale and Troon. Those are the ones I'd never heard of, like ever.
Okay.
Well, no, Beavertown. Beavertown is a crew that Heineken picked up in London, and then they're the guy who started it is Robert Plant's son from Led Zeppelin.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know any of these crews.
That's just kind of a ridiculous list. Like I don't even know what to expect from this event because this is the first time they've done it. That's the first time we'll be there, and there's going to be so many breweries that usually we talk about like, oh, we gravitate a little bit to the familiar beers, but then we also like try to seek out maybe the brewery we haven't visited in a long time or the new brewery from the suburbs that we haven't checked out yet, things like that. But this is like, I don't even know.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I think like it's kind of nerdy, which I'm excited about. It's downtown, which is a big deal. It's an invitational of out of town breweries, and when we talk about it all the time, man, whether you're on Michigan Avenue, for some meeting you got to go to, or your folks are in town and they want to see the Bean, and when you get that far east, your options to really have a good time on the beer side are kind of limited. So this is interesting. I hope it works out.
Yeah.
On the other side, though, I know that your Cigar Cities and Cricket Stays will be there too. There's a ton of people that I've heard of, but yeah, I want to say like Jay Wakefield. Oh, but there was one that I was kind of excited about because they just did a release recently. It was Man. I want to say it was either Side Project or Perennial.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, that came out with a big Imperial Stout.
Damn.
So. Yeah, it was Perennial's Man Imperial Stout, which is a big release in St. Louis.
Okay.
Like last weekend.
Okay,
So,
cool.
yeah, it's a chance to try a bunch of stuff. Almost like the way you would enjoy this the way you would like a FOBAB or a Great American Beer Fest.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah,
So getting drunk.
Getting drunk on stuff you probably never see. And then the only crews out of this list, Kaiser Tiger and the Beer Temple are throwing their post parties. They're throwing them on Sunday. Arizona Wilderness and Crooked Stave are the two breweries that the only ones that repeat on this list that'll be at those two parties. But the Beer Temple party looks really good because they've actually got 11 breweries from this list that they're going to be pouring, and they'll have a Fanta Flora bottle release the day after this party.
Damn, okay.
So it sounds like one of those weekends where these out-of-town breweries got like this, 48-hour licensing to
kind of distribute
beer. Yeah.
Okay.
Which, we've heard of before. Like, I know Uppers and Downers did something like that. Like, hey, this temporary window.
Right.
Yeah, to come kick it. So.
Cool. So if you're a champion, you're going to roll to Far and Away in the morning and then a field museum in the evening.
Yeah.
Do it. But
Even though there's no list for the Field Museum thing. That's annoying me. I dug a little bit. I couldn't find a beer list to save my ass.
I think after you do Far and Away, you're not going to care.
You're not going to care. You're just going to show up like, here's my $80. Let's party.
And so we'll be there in the morning session at noon. We'll be blowing up Instagram and stuff like that with photos and just letting you know what's there. So check that out.
Yeah, should be a good weekend, man. I'm excited about that.
Cool. Anything else happening, or is that about it?
No, a couple more things. There's a Bloody Mary Fest happening at Theater on the Lake.
Okay.
Theater on the Lake is right at Fullerton and Lakeshore Drive. That's where the closing ceremony for Illinois Craft Beer Week was this year. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so this Bloody Mary Fest, there's a 8:30 to 11:30 breakfast if you want to partake in that.
Okay.
But the main event is from noon to 3 p.m. Bloody Mary Fest, Theater on the Lake on Sunday.
Oh, on Sunday.
Yeah.
Too bad it's not before. Too bad it's not Saturday. We could roll to Bloody Mary Fest, get some breakfast.
I can't drink Bloody Marys on Saturday, man.
What?
I can't. The only time I drink them is Sunday, man.
That's a ridiculous rule.
I'm saying. I just have no desire to drink them unless it's Sunday. I had some stupid party on some rooftop and they Bloody Mary option. I had a couple sips. I was like, you know what?
It's not
It
Sunday?
ain't Sunday, man. I gotta step away from this.
What? That's...
I don't know, man.
All right.
Oh, but Brian Ferber, who used to run Beer Hoptacular, is running the Bloody Mary Fest. So cheers to him, man.
Yeah.
Also this weekend, Josh Seago is throwing another party. This is Flossmoor Brewfest. So this is out in Flossmoor. It's 2 to 6, 20 breweries. It's a $29 ticket. Yeah, and it sounds like this is like they're blocking off a street right in front of Flossmoor Station.
Okay. Is that Saturday too, or is that Sunday?
No, that's also Saturday.
Oh, so 2 to 6. So.
Yeah, 2 to 6 on Saturday.
So overlaps kind of both sessions of the Far and Away a little bit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you couldn't, if you lived out there, You couldn't tap that and then go to. You could tap it for an hour.
Yeah, but you don't want to waste that, right?
Yeah.
But that train gets off right there.
Dude, if this was a noon start,
Yeah.
you could bang this Flossmoor party, get on that train, and get dropped off at Millennium Park in time for Far and Away.
Right.
Yeah.
Come on.
Maybe next year.
Yeah. We need to plan these for people. Like, all right.
They're probably looking at it like normal people wouldn't do that.
No, most people just go to one event. They're not like Nick, who goes to 3 events, or me, who goes to 2 Oktoberfest parties.
Like a completely different ends of the town. It's more fun that way, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's also this weekend. That's actually all I got for events this weekend.
Cool. Well, then, we always like to close out with some news here, some things that have been happening not only in Chicago, but around the world. Right?
Right on, man.
What do we got?
Let's talk about the Chicago Marathon. That was this weekend. Goose Island made cans specifically for that party.
Okay.
So the Dry Hop 312 can, it's 26.2 miles on the can. That's the length of the race. But then also they would write your finishing time
On the can.
Which is pretty cool.
That's pretty smart. You take a picture with your can.
Right.
It says Goose Island. Clever.
I remember the at the Clybourne pub before the revamp. If you went to the bathroom, there was this black and white in a frame of a woman who had just run the race with a 312 in her hand, and she was just like such a joyous pose on her face.
Yeah.
With this can after running this race, so that's a cool little twist on 312.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. There's going to be a couple preview events on the 18th, Thursday, October 18th for Rev's Deepwood series.
Ooh.
Yeah, so this is the one where this is their barrel aged stuff.
The barrel aged cans.
Barrel aged cans, yeah.
Or the cans aren't barrel aged. The beer in the cans.
The beer in the cans is barrel aged. So there will be preview parties because that's next weekend. But the preview parties are on Thursday. One at Fishman's and one at Timmy O'Toole's.
Okay.
Yeah, Timmy O'Toole's is not far from Navy Pier.
Right. Yeah.
So that's.
Yeah. I feel like Timmy O'Toole's used to be, or it still is, but it was like a beer place. Like back in the day when Metro first started, they would go there and preview a lot of their beers.
Yeah, they would say, because we interviewed the founders guys at Timothy O'Toole's, and they would say, hey, they would crush it, with like all this green Miller Lite on St. Patty's Day, but then they were the number 1 account in the city for Stone and Founders and Three Floyds. They just volume was the name of the game when you went to Timothy O'Toole's. Over there.
Cool.
Yeah, so that's cool. Also on that day, Thursday the 18th, Hop Leaf is Tap-In Morning Delight, the Toppling Goliath beer you had when you went up there.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
That beer is awesome. If you can make it over to Hopley for that, do that.
I'll probably be at that, man. Lagunitas is in the news. They fired 12% of their workforce, which added up to about 100 people.
Okay.
Yeah, this is over both locations, Petaluma and here in Chicago. And then Chicago Nitas is going to start brewing fucking...
Chicago Nitas? Is
Chicago,
that?
That's what they call it when you go on the tour.
That's pretty good. All right.
It's good. I like it. Yeah, they're going to start brewing Newcastle Brown Ale, man, at Lagunitas.
What?
Yeah, so Newcastle Brown Ale is owned by Heineken, just like Lagunitas is. So they're like, so Heineken's like, here's the deal. Fire 100 people and make room for us because we're brewing Newcastle there.
Right. So they told some people, and people were like, that sucks. They're like, you're fired. You're fired.
They probably announced the Newcastle thing first.
Yeah.
And
How do you feel about that? All right, you can leave.
Employee numbers. This employee is not down with the culture change, so put this in her file. She's fired. That sucks, man. They were all, the brew bus used to always start there, when they open. And, I mean, I dig that place a lot.
Yeah, it's fun.
So, and then, everyone's like carefree. They're total hippies. And, yeah, this has got to be a big shift in the way they get down over there.
For sure. I can't even tell you the last time I had a Newcastle.
Dude.
You saying it now was like, oh, yeah, I forgot that existed.
And then it's like got a new label for it, and it says like something like, brewed with pride at Lagunitas or some shit. It says like that.
Oh, that's gonna hurt.
That sucks, man.
Does that hurt? Does that help Newcastle but hurt Lagunitas? Or like, what's the...
Absolutely. I mean, I don't know anybody that drinks Newcastle, though. We forget that we're in this bubble.
Right.
Because we don't consider it a bubble. This is just like normal.
Right. So who buys Newcastle and then sees that and like, oh, I should pick up this Lagunitas?
Oh, yeah, right.
No one. Right?
you got to think, I don't know what the numbers are for Newcastle, but you got to think they're selling a lot of Newcastle in these streets.
They gotta be, right? For them to be like, hey, Lagunitas, brew more of this for us.
Brew this for us. We need fresh. You know what we need? Somebody held a meeting on Wednesday morning and said, you know what we need? We need fresh Newcastle to Chicago. That's what the fuck we need.
Weird.
A little bit.
Yeah, all right. I don't know who's buying it. I've seen it on tap. That would probably be the only time I would get it, because why would I want 6 or 12 Newcastles in my fridge?
I don't know.
Says everybody.
Not my favorite story in the news. That one right there. Microphones in the news. They announced that they are apologizing for off flavors they may have in some of their beers that you've kept over the last few months. So they're offering a swap or a credit on 1, 2, 3, 4 of their beers. This is one of those crews that they're big into adjuncts, man. Mm-hmm. So 4 of these beers, they're saying, hey, we're getting reports that they turned tart when they probably shouldn't have. It looks like they're all in American Imperial Stouts with adjuncts.
Stop hanging onto your beer. Drink your beer.
Yeah. And it looks like, and that's why I'm kind of concerned, because all of these have, a lot of them have cacao nibs in them. So kind of concerned about, a lot of the BCS is chocolate forward this year, but they pasteurize.
Right, yeah.
So never mind. Scratch that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Microphone, they got 4 beers, and they're offering a credit.
That's cool that they're doing that.
That is cool. Yeah. And lastly in the news, Ravinia Brewing Company is having their grand opening this weekend.
They're doing it.
They're doing it. It's a real thing.
Not in Ravinia.
It is in Ravinia. It's in Highland Park.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they're doing a grand opening at 3 p.m. on Saturday. It's a can release.
I think tacos too.
Yeah, and it's a taco bar too. I might actually go to that.
Nice, do it. Yeah.
Yeah, because that train, the train that takes me to Rogers Park, also goes straight to Highland Park. So I might just leave far and away and just head up there and see what's going on. I need to get to the bottom of this. Oh, I meant to tell you that they when we were at Finch for a 312 block party, you could walk through Finch. Josh pointed out that you could see the tank for Ravinia pills.
So Finch was brewing that.
They were brewing it the whole time.
Oh,
because we were wondering,
where is this?
Like, how is this a thing? Yeah, but because it said brewed in Chicago, we're like, where?
Yeah, I did notice also that Twisted Hippo had a little preview party. I saw on
right on
Facebook or something. They had an art show, and they were just like, hey, come have some beer and check out the space. So they're getting close.
Which we need to do. When are we going to Twisted Hippo?
I don't know.
Well, you got stuff going on, so you tell me when we're going to Twisted Hippo. We need to get over there.
All right.
Oh, that's it for news.
That's it? That's it for the show.
All right.
Nick, when we're not recording here, when can people or how can they get in touch?
Right on, man. I'm on Twitter at Nicosio.
And I'm on Twitter at BRAD, Chicago Beer Pass on Twitter at Chicago Beer Pass. We mentioned the Instagram and the Facebook page. Photos always going up there. We'll be sharing lots of far and away stuff this weekend. Maybe some news about what's happening at Ravinia. How are the tacos tasting? And we'll let you know all about that on those places. And the website, chicagobeerpass.com. All the episodes get posted there. Links to iTunes, Stitcher, the YouTube version as well. Check out the YouTube channel. There are beer reviews there also.
Yes.
So, yeah. And we'll be back next week with another episode. Take care.
Cheers.